Welcome to episode 24 of the movie Lighthouse, shining a light through the fog of film. My name's James.
I'm Laurie.
I'm Wyndham.
How are we all?
I'm alright.
The autumn's arrived.
It's coming, isn't it?
Yeah, the leaves are falling off the trees.
And what does that mean? What does that mean? What else is coming?
Halloween, is
it is!
Yeah.
I love a bit of that shit. So I'm already Googling wolf suits for my 4-year-old daughter who's obsessed with werewolves and Michael Jackson. And yeah, we need to figure out what the 9-year-old's wearing. I might wear a Stormtrooper helmet, but anyway, whatever.
Just a helmet.
Yeah. Are we gonna have Are we allowed a Halloween special this year?
Oh, we had one last year.
Oh, I had to really press gang that sucker in though, didn't I?
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. So we're kind of at the beginning of September, aren't we, right now?
Yes.
So our next show will likely be the beginning of October. Maybe implies we're going to have a separate Halloween special.
Well, yeah, we'll do a Halloween special if that's what you like.
Yes.
Will we?
Well, I don't know.
I'm joking.
Anyone listening? Anyone got any Halloween classics? Any Halloween favourites? Please start writing in and giving us recommendations. That'd be really cool.
Talking about it in, nobody has.
Oh, okay.
I think we're all over the written word now, aren't we? In general.
Yeah. So well, are we?
Any video? Any voice recorded messages or anything like that?
Nothing, I'm afraid. It's been a bit sparse,
Wow.
but it
Really
has been the summer, which means that people go and do other stuff, don't they? I suppose
They do go and do other stuff. I went and did other stuff. Did you do other
a
stuff?
few things, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, when?
I did go and do other stuff.
So there we
Oh,
go. Nice
yeah.
and mysterious there. We all did stuff. All right, have we got any news?
Hi, hon. How's it going?
I've got some news.
Yes, wonderful.
So,
Go on.
have you seen that the classic cartoon from our childhood, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe,
All right.
is being redone,
Animated.
by Kevin Smith from
Oh.
Jay and Silent Bob fame,
Wow, yeah. He's Chopsy.
and apparently it's going to be in like an anime Japanese style.
Right. Ooh.
So She-Ra's been running for about a year now, hasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, they brought that one back.
I never knew She-Ra was
A
back.
rerun or a remake?
No remake.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I thought that the same company would do it, but apparently not then.
So that was an example of them coming up with a toy and using the cartoon as a vehicle to sell the toy, wasn't it? That was Mattel.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah. That was the thing. I think they were pushed in tandem, but yeah, they had a very strong merchandise at the same time as the.
I always wanted to have
This is
Castle
it.
Grayskull, but I never got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It was good until you get bored of it, and then it's quite bulbous.
Right.
It's just bulbous in the house. But this is the thing. I mean, like,
Did it do any tricks?
Trapdoors or hidden
I
doors?
think there was a trapdoor
I
in
think
it.
there was a really crappy trapdoor top right, and yeah, it wasn't so cool. I remember Skeletor's castle, though,
Snake
however,
Mountain.
it was like twice the size. It was like it's freaking massive. But yeah, I mean, like with toys now, like my 9-year-old son, like I say, obviously I've been desperately trying to lump Star Wars on him, like hardcore. Kids and toys, we're in a very, very different world. I mean, like the reprise of He-Man, we're really hopefully, maybe our kids will get into it. I don't know if they will. I don't know. Maybe they will. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it just seems like all these things that we loved, like Dark Crystal, which I'm sure we'll probably talk about in a minute. Such great artistry, original, great, cool stuff. And you'd think kids would just lap it up, but it doesn't. Well, anyway, in my experience, it doesn't seem
Doesn't resonate
that
with them the
way.
same way.
Yeah, kind of odd. It's much more this sort of YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Some guy's got a channel and just does random weird stuff. That seems to be the hit with kids, or the latest app, stuff like that. It's like, oh man, is that the same? Is that storytelling?
Because there was the you had Ram Man.
Ram Man. Oh yes, you
in,
did.
And then you had that kind of second generation of toys where the chests spun round.
Yes.
You had two options, or the head spun round.
Yeah.
That was all good stuff. Whereas now, who needs that?
I think I missed out on a lot of that.
Did you?
He-Man stuff.
Yeah. But I will say it spares the bulbous objects around the house.
All right, you've got any news?
It's been quite a while since we've recorded, so there's tons. There was obviously Stranger Things has had the season 4 signed off. Obviously, that's no real surprise. But season 3, just a quick touch on that. You loved it, right?
I did. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
You've checked it, yeah?
Yeah.
It is good. But they call it Stranger Things. So first season comes out, and yeah, it is Stranger Things, tapping into all that retro. The soundtrack's amazing. The opening credits, profoundly beautiful, wonderful. And, you know, it was an original idea. And then number 2 kind of did the same thing. And then number 3, again, kind of...
I thought number 3 was very different.
It was slightly different because they did that sort of invasion of the body snatchers kind of thing, didn't it? But they didn't really do much with it. But it was good. I did thoroughly enjoy it. I did thoroughly enjoy it, but I'm just... I don't know.
There was quite a lot of that comedic bickering in the face of imminent death.
Yeah.
Which, after a while...
That got a bit grating, but it's nice to see Winona Ryder a bit happier for a change.
She was a lot happier. She was like, I've had enough of this shit. I know exactly what's going on. Let's not bollock about. Yeah, she was really great. Hopper was really, really great. Again, the kid's really cool. I love the ice cream guy. Oh, I keep forgetting his name. But I adore him. So it's still a really, really, really great show, but it's too far gone now, but maybe from that first series, I don't know, it could have been even more than what it is. But anyway,
well, it's a smash hit success.
You've got
season 4. They must be happy with that.
Yeah. More news that I'm really excited about. Mark Gatiss is going to make us a Christmas ghost story.
Oh, is he?
Which is really great. I think it's probably an M.R. James story again. Okay. So that's quite exciting. Peter Capaldi is going to be in it.
Ah.
So that, hopefully, fingers crossed, that would be a good ghost story for us. Any more news from you kids? I've got another couple of bits.
I haven't got anything.
I've got one.
Go on.
The latest and quite possibly the last Rambo movie's coming out.
Oh, God, yeah.
Another one.
Rambo Last Blood. Oh. So, as the designated action correspondent, I'll give that a watch and let you know.
When is that arriving?
No idea. I literally just saw a very brief... I think it's I don't think it's very long, actually. It might even be September.
Right.
But did you see the last one?
No.
Where he ends up in some Lao or somewhere like that, not sure.
Right.
Just graphically violent, bodies disintegrating and stuff like that. So if that's the train they're on, it's probably about time it was the last one, isn't it?
Right.
And the difference between in Sylvester Stallone from Rambo First Blood Part 1 to Rambo Last Blood, holy, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Seriously, wow. They are physically distorting.
There is this thing about aging. There's some people that suffer chunk, and I'm not meaning like fatness. I mean they just go.
I think
like
it's the
chunk.
steroids. It's the steroids he's taken all his life.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
A dear friend of mine blames it on drinking.
That can do it too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. First Blood though. That I was obsessed with that film when I was a kid. It was such a good film. Yeah. But then Rambo, the whole tone of it just completely changes, doesn't it? It becomes something else.
It was one of those weird things. They changed his chest scars in Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Oh, why?
So in the first one, he's just got horizontal scars across both pecs.
Uh-huh.
And then in the second one, he's got kind of like they're separated by his chest bone. He's got changed.
Wow, and you were taking notes on that, Shizzle.
Well, it was one of those things you kind of go, it's such a memorable part of the first film when he has his flashback to being tied up in Vietnam and they draw the machete across his chest.
Ooh. Yeah.
You kind of go, okay. And in the second one, they've kind of done this artistic sun spread.
I want to look a little bit more perpendicular.
No, that's not the right thing, is it?
That's very good.
Perpendicular.
That's probably what he said.
Yeah.
Laurie,
he's a smart guy, actually. We all think he's a dick. He's smart.
Yes.
Well, he refused to let anybody else star in Rocky. He wrote it and he said, no, if you're going to make it, I'm going to be Rocky.
Exactly, but he schlopped his guts out on that, so he wrote it, people were interested, like, oh yeah, okay, we'll take this story, but he's like, no fucking way you taking the fucking story. And he had no money at all, he sold his dog, kept going around like Colonel Sanders, and then on the 150th, they went, oh right then, you can play blah blah blah, and then pow.
Rocky, it's the title character.
Yeah, that's it, Rocky. Bit of other news. So Peter Fonda passed away a couple of weeks ago. So Peter Fonda, who's he? Big legend. So Easy Rider, massive film that he did with Dennis Hopper, kind of changed cinema in a way. That was all part of the Scorsese years, Coppola years. It's a good film, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it just sort of changed and kind of gave new wind to young artists, young filmmakers, just saying, look, just fucking make it. If you've got a good idea, go and make it. So yeah, Peter Fonda passed away.
Terence Dix passed away as well the other day.
The Doctor
So
Who
he was
writer.
script editor for Doctor Who in John Pertwee years, so in the 70s, and wrote nearly all, or about 2/3 of all the Target novelisations of the book of the TV show. So in the 70s and 80s again, Target would release like 2 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and he used to write all of them. He was
I'm assuming they were quite formulaic.
very formulaic. But he was like he helped to create what is modern Doctor Who, really. What we see, the evolution of the Time Lords, the
Was it the introduction of the army and all that unit and all that?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So he's gone.
Pants.
Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss are coming back for another Matrix movie.
Oh, crikey.
You seen it?
I have
By
heard
the-
about this.
Mike Wazowski brothers.
Do we need another Matrix movie?
Of course we don't. The
Well-
first film happened, that was it done.
Yeah.
Great concept, great idea.
Well, they
Thanks.
said that the concept and the idea is just as relevant today, if not more so, than it was back then.
Right.
And they're on their downers. So no, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know.
All right. Is that it, or we got anything else?
Oh, I think so. You guys haven't managed to see... Well, actually, no, we'll probably touch on that later. The new Tarantino film. No.
No.
Yeah, and again, as I say, it's been a while, but the Banana Splits came out with a horror movie, which was quite exciting.
The banana.
Have you not
Splits-
seen the Banana Splits horror movie?
No.
Yeah, the Banana Splits have got a horror movie.
For the Banana Splits in the
It's
70s.
called- it's called the-
la 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 la. That one.
No, not that one.
What one?
Yeah, that one! Not the other blooming banana, not like the cream-based banana pudding.
So, right, so there is a horror movie. What, they've just made
It's
one?
called the Banana Splits movie. Came out in July, and yeah, you know Funhouse by Tobe Hooper.
Yeah.
It's got a similar gig to that. So you go to watch the Banana Splits, and then you get fucked up. But anyway, check it out. That's that.
What's it called?
Banana
Splits the movie.
With that big furry dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they drive around in those like beach buggy things.
Yes.
And it's a horror movie.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
No.
All right, let's go in the beam. All right, I'll kick us off. So, I saw a film which, weirdly enough, I've never seen before. Oh, It's a Lovely War.
Oh right.
Richard
Richard Attenborough.
Attenborough film, and I've seen the play. I've been in the play, and I've directed the play once. So I knew
Seen the play?
Seen the play, directed the play.
Did you write it?
Didn't write it. Rewrote some of it. But it's a remarkable film. Better set in, filmed in Brighton.
All on the pier.
All on
isn't
the
it?
pier, which is now long gone, unfortunately, burnt down, isn't it?
Yeah.
But also cast, it had lots of famous people in it. Who's that really famous actor?
That's
From the National.
right.
It's statues outside the National. Come on.
Gary Wilmot.
It had Wendy Allnut, Colin Farrell, Malcolm McPhee, John Ray, Colin
No,
Redgrave.
that's a remake.
Yeah, that's not the right one. I should have really written these things down. Laurence Olivier. He was in
Laurence
it.
Olivier.
It was brilliant. Oh no, but it's just amazing and poignant and funny and inventive and clever. And the way they move between the surreal and the real,
Hard shit.
trenches and stuff like that is brilliant. So highly recommend that.
Oh, what a lovely war.
Yeah.
There we are. Windy Plops.
So I, excuse me, I watched a Netflix original called Polar, which is based on a series of graphic novels around this character called the Black Kaiser,
Yeah.
who is a hitman And the film focuses on the point where it's Mads Mikkelsen as the lead character. He's
awesome.
an international hitman.
Yeah.
Who works for a collective of international hitmen and women. And the company has a policy where everybody retires at 50, and you paid into this pension, and there's these millions of pounds waiting for you when you retire. Only it's not that easy to walk away from that kind of business.
So you just put a cap in your ass.
Essentially, that's the premise, and but because it's come from a graphic novel, it's kind of got hyper accentuated violence and all that kind of stuff. It's good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Polar.
Polar.
So I never even heard of that either. And you've got Mads Mikkelsen in there and all sorts of stuff.
Mads
That's
Mikkelsen,
cool.
Vanessa Hudgens, Catherine Winnock, Matt Lucas.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, it's good. Well worth a watch.
Polar. Okay. So it has been a while, and I really genuinely have two.
We'll just have one.
There's two really
No,
awesome
just do
ones.
one.
Can I just talk about one and then just say the title of the other?
Yeah, well then.
Thanks. So out of these two, I'll plumb for 2017's You Were Never Really Here. Okay? So that's, you've got your Joaquin Phoenix. Alright? And he plays, effectively, he's kind of like a gun for hire, as it were, like a contract killer.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of ghosts in him, like sort of a disturbed past, and his contracting killering sort of specialises in lost children, stuff like that. And I think quite early on, like
killing lost children?
No, sorry.
Revenge 4.
Revenge 4, trying to find lost kids and, fucking up the people that have done it. And there's like a senator or something, and one of his kids is kidnapped. So he kind of takes on that job, and you're following Joaquin through this. But rather than really sort of the plot, as it were, it really focuses on him and his inner demons, and it's sort of what makes it so great is just it's that real kind of cinema experience again. Where a film can sort of start eating you up, and it all gets a bit blurry, and so he's in these situations, as it were. Just something quite innocent, like taking a photo of these kids that need a photo taken of them or whatever. But then his mind will flash back to a memory that he had, and that will kind of sort of blur the lines again. Anyway, proper, great performances, great soundtrack, great film. As I say, it consumes you. Proper good cinema. You were never really here. And just the last one as well, super amazing surprise, Sorry to Bother You. Have either of you seen that? Oh my God, Sorry to Bother You.
Okay, well you can tell us all about that next time.
Spectacular. Anyway.
Alright, brilliant. Alright, On the Rocks.
Love on the rocks. Ain't no surprise.
I haven't got anything this month.
Jesus.
No.
You haven't got anything this 1-2 months?
No, I haven't been watching a lot of stuff really.
Shit.
I have.
Okay, win.
I always have. The atrocious, awful Aquaman.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Holy crap, that is a
So
pile
why?
of
Because
poo.
it comes as no surprise, I don't think, to any of us that it's a sack of shit. But why is it a sack of shit?
It just feels as if... So the only relative light in it is Jason Momoa.
Uh-huh.
But essentially the script is terrible. The editing feels like a film by committee.
Right.
And so nothing ever really sort of seems to follow the arc and a sensible story, and
which was one of the problems with Suicide Squad, wasn't it?
I think they've evidently come to it much later than Marvel did.
Yeah.
And they did. I don't think when you get to the end of Avengers, whatever the last one was, Infinity War. As you then go back through those films, you can see they had an idea of what they knew the arc,
right
from Iron Man.
Yeah.
They knew where they wanted to go, and they knew how it all was going to fit in together. And I think DC have failed to do any of that.
They've just gone trying to figure out their tone.
We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to do the other. And Aquaman just feels like whoever directed it had his film, and then the committee went, "Yeah, you're going to have to recut that because we want to do a bit of this or we want to do a bit of that." So it just feels really disjointed. Doesn't flow. The dialogue is terrible. You have big leaps of character development that you go, where the fuck did that come from?
Right.
And it's just really bad, and even to the point where there's lots of CGI in it, and a lot of that is a bit like, oh my god,
Bit poke.
we know you can do better than that.
Yeah.
You just haven't got the money because your franchise isn't as successful, or whatever the reason is. But it's just terrible,
Yeah.
absolutely terrible.
Do they have gills?
So it's not like Harry Potter, where he eats the gillyweed and grows gills. So no, I don't. I think they just. It's just really. It's awful. I hated it. It was so bad. Even the bit where they're underwater and they're kind of swimming away, and then they kind of stop to go horizontal, to go vertical, and it just looks really poo.
Right.
It's like, have you seen the oh Christ, the new Amazon series with Legolas, the elf,
Oh right. Okay.
Orlando
yeah.
Bloom, and Cara
Tales of
Delevingne.
Mystery.
Whatever it is.
Way, yeah.
There are loads of fae in that, and they kind of constantly have to take off. And you can just tell it's like somebody with a winch, and the actors are there going, wait a minute, come off. It's a bit like that. It's rubbish.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, they are
Don't
Aquaman.
watch it.
Avoid it.
Okay, Laurie.
Me, I was touring actually for a while to put this on the rocks, but I probably won't. But just say about like Tom York's anime thing. It's actually really great, so I won't do that. Slaughterhouse Rules, however, turns out is firmly on the rocks. Bit shit. So you've got your Simon Pegg's in there, Nick Frost is in there,
Right.
Michael Sheen is in there.
Yeah.
Some young new actors. One of them.
Oh, Finn Cole is in there from Peaky Blinders.
That's it.
What's
yeah.
it about?
So basically, it's like this privileged school. Some sort of shit kicker dude manages to academically get the chops to be allowed to go in there. So for his mum, this is a big deal. So anyway, he goes there, and it's like a boarding school, and all posh stuff and weirdos. And Slaughterhouse, as it's called, Michael Sheen is the principal, and they've got principals. So you're kind of following this kind of school story.
Ah.
But then just in the woods, there's fracking going on, which is a topic that obviously Jim
sounds
Jarmusch
awful.
tried, but they're doing it as well. Turns out fracking's probably not the best area to go, because seems like you get shit stories from it. But anyway, the film takes forever to get to this point that there's something that the fracking is actually, there's like a cavern, and there are all these demons inside the cavern come out and start killing everyone in the slaughterhouse. What makes it bad though is, okay, alright, if it's a Sunday and you're genuinely not doing any, actually no, not even that, it's just not worth it. It's just the editing's rubbish, the jokes are constantly repeating, Simon Pegg saying the same joke again and again and again and again.
Was it funny the first time?
No. Borderline. But yeah, it's just the editing doesn't feel right, it's just, it's all kind of wonky, wrong. It's all, no, I was going to say it's alright. It's not alright, it's a bit shit.
It's on the rocks.
Yeah, it's on the rock.
All right. So let's move on to our feature, which is 2008. Okay.
So we said 2008. So you could almost say this category is about when you're just about to propose to someone and shit goes wrong.
What?
Because they're both these films are that, aren't they? Anyway, yes, 2008. That was.
I think he's going for the year first.
Yeah.
Right, let me give you a bit of information about 2008. Right, so in the news, there was a financial crash. Karen Matthews, the mother of the kidnapped 9-year-old girl, Shannon Matthews, was arrested for organising her daughter's kidnap.
That was fucked up.
Boris Johnson became mayor of London.
Yeah.
Yeah, look how that turned out. Popular culture, not much apparently. Wasn't anything there. TV, Granger was axed. Carol Vorderman quit Countdown, and Trevor McDonald quit News at 10. So there was a lot of loss there going on in TV.
Goodness.
Interesting what you say about cultural devoidness, because like when we were looking for films, it's like there's not really that many options. I know Let the Right One In is a good film of that year, but there's not that much else I could really find.
Yeah. In music, well, this says it already. Number 3, Only by the Night, Kings of Leon. Viva La Vida, or Death and All His Friends, Coldplay. Ugh. And then Duffy was the highest
Duffy?
album
What
with
happened to
Rock
Duffy?
Ferry. Arthur C. Clarke died, and Edmund Hillary.
Ooh.
And the top 5 grossing films were The Dark Knight, Kung Fu Panda, Wall-E, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
So the top 3 of those are good films.
Yeah. I keep desperately trying to get down on Nolan with his Batman stuff. Love the first one and second one.
Well, Dark Knight was one of the films that we didn't choose, but I thought I really enjoyed the first Dark Knight before it all got too serious, really.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about this. I think it was Dark Knight Rising that was on the Teddy box the other day, and I was down on that as well because it's almost like he was embarrassed that he's making like a superhero film. That is something you can get caught away with that and go, "Oh, I'm taking it too seriously." But actually, they are good films, aren't they?
They are good films.
They are good films.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
they're made well. And Cloverfield was the other film, which I went to see at the cinema, which I quite liked as well.
Yeah, that was a good film.
Yeah, and that franchise has continued in the weirdest way.
See, yeah,
They haven't
in a
been completely
refreshing
linear.
way, though.
Yeah, they haven't been completely linear with theirs, have they?
Exactly,
They've gone,
yeah.
okay, we've got this. In one film, we've made this amazing opportunity for lots of different approaches.
Yeah,
Less explorable.
yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
which is refreshing and cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's have a look at our first film, The Strangers.
Okay.
Okay, so let's have a clip.
I just want to tell you something.
What do you want to tell me?
You are my girl.
I love you, Jimmy.
What is that?
It's okay, there's nothing here. I haven't heard a dog bark or a car pass. Nothing.
Alright, so it was released in 2008, directed by Brian Bettino, screenplay by Brian Bettino, original title was called The Faces, music was Tom and Andy,
Tom and Andy.
Oh yeah.
budget was 9 million, and the box office it took 82.4 million US dollars. Didn't win any awards. Alright, so Laurie, and just some of the actors. Liv Tyler was Kristen, Scott Speedman as James.
Speedman.
Yes.
That's not a real name, is it?
And that'll do, really. And Laurie, do you want to give us a bit of a synopsis?
Yeah, so Liv is a little bit. You see her whimsical at a wedding, and her fella is like, and he's not saying very much. He's like, "What's wrong with fella?" They have a drive back home, and Liv's like smoking fags, looking wistfully out the window. What's going on? They get into like a little house, kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's like a secluded area. Liv's still doing her sort of stuff, and he's like moping. And then you learn to find out, which is actually kind of a big part of both these films that we're reviewing. He was going to engage to her, and she kind of said, "No, I'm not ready," and he was all heartbroken. Anyway, I think she needs some fags or something, so he goes off to get some fags. But
Right, you're telling the whole story.
oh,
So they're alone in a house in the country, and people break in and terrorise
they
them.
keep turning up and knocking on the door, don't
Yeah.
they? Is Harry in?
Oh, yeah. All right. So first memories. I saw that. Well, I was travelling across America, I think, and I was in a hotel, and I just
Was it a
stumbled
remote
across it.
hotel?
It wasn't. It was in a city, I think.
Oh.
But it was still spooky enough. It really kind of freaked me out at the time. Just like the shots of the people in the masks out of focus in the background and things like that. I remember that made me very unnerved. How about you two? You seen it before?
No, never seen it before.
Me neither.
What did you think?
It's one of those films that at the very beginning when it said this film is based on true events,
Yeah, that was.
and then it says that nobody knows what happened.
Yeah.
So what essentially they're saying is they found, big spoiler alert here, they found somebody dead and another woman badly injured,
Yeah.
and they've made up the stuff before that. So I always get a bit This is based on true events, but nobody really knows what happens.
I get absolutely furious, particularly if this truly is based on a true event. That is the most unrespectful, naughtiest thing ever. That's an abhorrent, terrible, terrible thing for them to do. But you're right, it does open up with basically that they're dead and something's happened. So the moment I saw that saying this is based on true, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go then.
But didn't they do the same with Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, and that wasn't based on true events.
Yeah,
it was based on a game which was completely different.
As is this isn't.
But
either.
but it puts you, I suppose, as a viewer, you're put into a position where you think, oh gosh, this could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
So you are kind of on edge.
And that's one of the things with these two films, that the purpose of it is to shit you up about being on your own, outside of a urban population. And I think with American films set in America, there is a genuine, certainly from a British standpoint looking in, you genuinely think, well, that could definitely happen. Not only could it definitely happen, it almost certainly will happen.
Yeah.
So don't go to remote places in America.
Yeah. The director, on speaking to the director though, he did admit, so it's not really based on true events. He was just very much inspired by the Catherine Tate Manson murders, and there's another couple of similar sort of sect, or like these weirdos basically, murders that he was inspired by. So he said
you could say that Silence of the Lambs was inspired by true events.
Exactly, but you don't get this big thing right at the beginning based on true. It's like,
I think it was wrong.
Disrespectful.
It automatically makes you think this is a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
I did like the fact it started with a lot of mystery. You're wondering what happened, why they're, what's wrong with their relationship. And you get so engrossed in that that by the time there's a knock at the door, it's a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck, I forgot something else going on.
In a current atmosphere where exposition is rife in almost all films, they don't give you any of that.
It's
good. Thank you.
Yeah. So it does open quite well, and like you say about the creepy stuff, I think the way they do, where she's had a smoke, he's gone, she's worried about him coming back, and then suddenly that sack face steps out and
just in the
around the back. Beautiful timing. It's all blurry, you can't quite see it. And she's just there, and you think she's going to turn around and clock him. Yeah. But just the moment, it's just beautiful timing where he's just gone back again. It's like, ooh, yeah, that's really, really well done. As it goes on, though, it does get. They are borderline paranormal. They keep vanishing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit. There's a bit of the car, and I think he's in the car, and someone behind him puts her hand on his shoulder. Yeah. And turns around, she's not there.
And that happens
you can't
a lot.
Physically move away that quickly. Yeah. So it does a lot of that really.
But it doesn't start like that. No. It starts really quite cool, but then they keep cranking it up and just taking a little bit more liberty. So yeah,
there was a lot of it, and I know it's that kind of film, and I know you have to adhere to certain laws which say, if somebody keeps knocking on the door and you're terrified of them, if that door creaks open, you have to open it, stick your head out, have a look around, whereas in reality you'd kick the door shut and phone the police.
Absolutely, yeah.
She couldn't, could
and
she?
And I get that, I understand, but those tropes just wind me up.
Yeah. And that, like I say, as it goes on, they do definitely start leaking in more and more. But that first knock on the door... I think is really great because he's still there with her, isn't he? And she's like, what's the name? Is Andy in? Oh, he's not here.
And her face is completely in shadow.
Yeah,
because she's taken the bulb out, hasn't she? I think.
And then her response again is just a little bit weird. Is Andy in? No, we just said he's not here, kind of thing. And then she goes away. But then when that knock comes back for the second time, it's like, oh yeah, this is a really nice kind of.
So, what do we think about the performances? Liv Tyler, what do you think of her?
So, I have got here, Liv has good hip flexibility.
All right. Can you remember what?
I can't remember what that was.
Okay.
No.
There might have been a shimmy.
I think there must have been a shimmy.
I've got that she gets a great performance, but then I've started putting very annoying and a bit whiny.
Yeah.
But that's the character.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was a lot of it, wasn't it?
And there was a lot of. I think again back to that. I think
whiny, but she was being terrorised by people with masks.
Yeah, but
who were definitely up to no good.
But if that was Sigourney, if that was Ripley in there, she wouldn't have stuff for that shit, would she?
Very
that's
good
true.
point.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she fight back? She doesn't fight back at all.
Not everybody's a fighter though.
No, but if you can't flight, then surely you would fight.
Or
Look
freeze.
at that.
Or freeze, yeah.
Or shimmy.
Or shit, and that was it. She tried to mesmerise them with her hips, and they weren't up for it.
So you were saying, I think she does a good turn on this one, and you said that it did quite well actually at the box office, didn't it?
Yeah.
It made a bit of money. So she, what was it? The Lord of the Rings had finished just slightly, not long before this, right? So I suppose that was probably a bit of a draw to see her doing a thing. I think she does well. On his side, his acting, I thought he did really well. You start questioning when he actually comes back.
Yeah.
You're like, are
Is he
you
involved?
doing this?
Yeah.
Are you one that's setting this up? You're
Oh,
really
I didn't
pissed off.
question that.
I know I
did.
did, and it's the film is definitely trying to make you think this as well for a good sort of 10 minutes, and then
Right.
you realise actually it's not him.
Yeah.
But
I've
that
got
was
no
good.
suspicious of James.
Yes, is it Jimmy?
Yeah.
yeah.
But again, to that, this is based on true events. If you take that as okay, this is based on true events, you then that's one of the frustrations. It's trying to be clever with that marketing ploy,
Yeah,
and then you go, he wouldn't have been that suspicious
yeah.
in real life. He'd have
Yeah.
gone, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Wow, let's call the police. Let's go quickly. Come with me now. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it gets in that little bit of Hitchcocky at one point. So again, at this point, it's all still really cool. However, when a car has got punctured tyres and the tyres are let down, is that it? You can't drive it?
Yeah, no, it's completely
In
mobile.
films, you can't drive it. Apparently. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's
Well,
it now.
it is quite hard to drive, yeah, because especially in mud and stuff, it won't go anywhere.
Well, that's very true. Yeah, I
Was
wouldn't
it
know
muddy?
this stuff.
Well, I don't know. No, not really.
I don't think it was. No,
It would have been hard to drive.
it would have been harder to drive, but in light of scary people wearing masks,
Yeah.
you'd have given it a go.
Give it a
wouldn't
go. I thought the masks looked really effective.
They did.
Yeah, they worked really well.
Yeah, and actually, this whole thing, because I know we're going to get on to Eden Lake. I watched this after I watched Eden Lake,
Right.
All right.
and it feels like a movie that knows what it is, understands what it's trying to do, even though the director's trying to hoodwink us with that.
Yeah, it's a
events
nice little
thing.
bit of play. Yeah.
It understands the kind of the tropes of it, and it delivers them up to the point it starts getting a bit supernaturally.
Yeah.
It does its job quite well, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those masks and kind of people at different suddenly they're miles away, and then there's somebody over here, and you go, "Shit, how many of them are there?" Because originally it's just the girl knocking on the door,
Yeah.
and then there's the mask comes in the back of the house.
Yeah,
And you
sack
go,
it.
okay, there's two, and then there's another mask, and you're going,
Go.
how many are there going to be?
Yeah, but you get 3. So you, where are we? So I think the accidental shooting of his friend was quite a nice little idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it all sort of cranks up this, that, and the other, and it results. The film's sort of climax is, I suppose, kind of the tone of this film. I suppose you probably wouldn't have expected that ending.
No.
That's a bit like hardcore.
Yeah.
It was a bit hardcore, albeit right at the beginning it does sort of kind of say that was going to happen. And then the 2 little kids turning up with their Bible bashy
Yeah.
leaflets, their sort of crossing of paths, as it were, with the murderers was kind of nice. And they said, I think the murderers, as they're driving away, it's going to be easier next time,
Yeah.
or we're going
Yes.
to do it
Yeah,
better
yeah,
next
yeah.
time, implying it's the first time that they've done
Yes.
this. And that again linking to the Charles Manson sort of Catherine Tate murders. These guys.
That links very well to that, yeah.
Yeah. So that was all kind of fine. It's okay.
What about
Yeah.
the music? I put here that I thought it matched the mood perfectly. Spooky and creepy.
Yeah, so it does its job. There's nothing really particular about it, though.
Right,
But I
well.
think that premise that when they've done all the terrorising, the mate's been accidentally shot, they're tied and bound, they've tried to escape 2 or 3 times, communications have been severed, all that kind of stuff, and then they're tied to the chair, and then
And then she
the
says-
thugs take their masks off.
Oh, right, yeah.
And at that point, we all know if you see their faces, you're
Yes.
fucked.
Yeah.
And she's like, why? And they just go, you were in.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that is it. That's
Yeah.
the only reason.
Yeah.
Which is the point, right? It's supposed to make us feel
Yeah, that
vulnerable
can happen to
at any-
anyone that's not motive.
Yeah.
I've got a memorable line here. Are you a sinner sometimes? Quite like that. You got anything?
No.
Right, well, should we score it then?
Let's do that.
Let's do that. All right. So, yeah.
Sorry, just one other thing. I've got a note here that they changed her clothes when they tied Liv Tyler up. Did either of you get that?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And I can't remember I watched this a couple of weeks ago, so I can't remember what she was wearing before, but in my head it...
Yes, no, you're right, because they come back from the wedding and she's dressed up in like a nice, pretty dress, as it were, and then she goes down to her skivvies, jeans and shirt.
And they put her back in the
and
dress.
then they put her back in the dress.
Is that because of they've seen the ring, or is that suggesting something more? I don't know.
Well, it definitely plays up to the scene where they're both covered in blood dying, and she says, "Yes, I will marry you," and he's like, "Fuck's
Too
sake."
late. And then just one other thing.
Yeah.
Why weren't the kids riding their bikes? Gaps between the houses.
It was a hot day and they were suffering
And
as
they
they
were in
like
their
a
little-
cruel saddle.
And even that young.
Yeah.
They understand.
All right, let's score it. So, performances. 8. Wyndham.
5.
7.
Effects, win.
Effect 6.
There's a lot of effectiveness in it, so I'll go for 6.
4. Plot, Laurie.
Actually, them saying based on a true story is in such fucking bad taste. 5.
5 for me.
6.
Rewatch factor. 3.
0.
4.
Direction.
6.
They make you second guess things. Let's say 6.
I've given it an 8. Cinematography, Laurie.
6.
8.
6.
Sound and music. 8.
6.
6 again.
Originality.
5.
5.
8. Enjoyability, Laurie.
It's okay. It definitely slumps in the third act. 6.
9.
4.
And life-changing, past or present, win.
0.
What did I learn? Keep my battery on my phone charged.
What you learn is,
Yeah.
if you're going to stay anywhere remote, pick a bungalow. Because if it's a big creepy house,
Yeah.
as always, you're going to get murdered.
Yeah.
Right. That's a 1. No, that's 3 points then.
That's a 1 for me. Right, so I got 62.
62. I gave it 44.
44.
Jesus. 54.
54. Jeez. Hold on. I need to write. Which gives us a rating
Yeah.
of 53.3.
53.3. Alright, so let's see where that puts it. 53.3 puts it pretty low down, really. It puts it below Dawn of the Dead, but above The Puppet Master. Number 13 in the rating.
Puppet
So
Master's
if they
better.
hadn't said
Yeah.
this is based on a true story, let's forget that.
Yeah.
As just a film on its own,
Yeah.
I'm alright with it.
Yeah. It's not as good as Puppet Master though. Damn it!
Right, well, there we go.
That's wrong.
Right, should we move on then?
Let's do that.
So, the next film is Eden Lake, that happy little
Oh,
horror.
that cheeky little number.
So, let's have a clip.
So Kat's boyfriend is taking her to Paris for the weekend, and my boyfriend's taking me to a disused quarry.
At your first opportunity, turn around.
It's beautiful.
Why don't we just find another spot?
I'm not going to be bullied away by a bunch of 12-year-olds. Hey, guys, can you turn your sounds down, please?
On here, mate.
And what you looking at? You looking at my tits? Fucking jog on.
Steve, where's the beach bag?
It's got the car keys in it.
Alright, so, let me give you some information about the film. It was released in 2008, directed by James Watkins, written by James Watkins, music by David Julian. Box office was $3.9 million. I couldn't find anything about the budget. And it had Kelly Riley as Jenny Greengrass, Michael Fassbender, Steve Taylor, Jack O'Connell as Brett, James Gandhi as Adam. And that'll do.
It's got Thomas Turgoose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Cooper.
Turgoose.
All right. Laurie, give us a synopsis.
All right, okay. So, couple of middle class. Oh, giggly. Should we go away for a weekend? Yes, I'd love to. It's a surprise. And he's going to propose to her. So this is what I'm saying. This
It was like watching the English version of The Strangers. It was really weird.
Is this category 2008? I don't think so. It's like, don't propose.
Yeah.
Don't propose category. So anyway, he's going to propose to her, and he decides to do a little bit something. You know, we're not going to go to Venice. We're not going to go to Ben Bon Brothers. We're going to go to like a building development,
a quarry.
But before the building takes place, it's actually a beautiful area. So I want to take you there, baby. Be slightly different. So they're driving in their car, listening to the music, giggling, whoa, and they go into a town. And already, once you go into this town, you can slightly feel a class issue. Well, this is the way the film chooses to frame it. It's as a class issue where, you know, obviously they're slightly more ruffians, a little bit more crass, as it were, but that's fine. They overlook that. And as they're making their way to this beautiful, idyllic destination, they have a few run-ins, as it were, and I think the B&B that they stay over the night, they get a feel of the local clientele. Anyway, once they do finally arrive, they're having a lovely moment, and then some young ruffians.
Right, so once again, they're being terrorised by a group of kids, basically.
Yeah, but it slowly sort of builds up. I suppose they're not deliberately being picked on, but it's like quite a good thing about this film. There's sort of some natural kind of events that slowly start culminating, or whatever the word is.
Yeah. So when did you see it for the first time?
When we watched it for this.
Okay.
Oh, great.
I saw it a few years ago. I can't remember when, but yeah, I've seen it before. Laurie?
It's probably when Love Film was all the rage, 2008.
Yeah, I think it was Love Film era, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, watched it and I... Poof. Ho ho!
Right, so first thoughts. Did we like it?
No.
No?
No.
Well, like is a wrong word for it, really. It's a horrible film, is it?
It's a horrible film.
It's a horrible film.
Did I like it? Did it make my arse go up to my ear rolls? Yes, it did. Did I like it? Did I think it was a good film? Yes, I did. Very, very much so. I thought, crikey. Wow.
I wasn't sure what it was trying to do. I wasn't sure what it was, you know...
Have a stab. What do you think it was trying to do?
So I think, if you look at that, it felt like it was almost demonising... You were talking about the class system in the UK is obviously a massive fucking thing still.
Yeah.
To me, its sole purpose was to demonise those who would be considered maybe the lower social class.
Yeah,
that's all it is designed to do, and generate fear of other.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
escalation of fucking violence in this is... I'm not saying it's impossible, but it just felt a mechanism to kind of go, if you're well educated, middle to upper middle class, don't go anywhere where there are people and ruffians and people who like Burberry, because you'll get murdered.
Yeah,
it massively does.
And I thought it was very implausible, really, how it escalated so quickly.
But this is the interesting thing about this. So, like I say, you said first time you saw it, and I saw it, and I thought it was really, really good film. You know, horror, awful, scary as hell. So you know, like those horrible kind of horror films, which I don't really actually would say are horror, like Wolf Creek. You know, that kind of sort of real shit. This is kind of in that genre, and just not a nice experience. But I really loved it, and my wife at the time, back in 2008...
She's still your wife now, just to be clear.
Oh yeah, that's true. My present wife still likes it. Anyway, so yeah, she was really affected by it and hated it, and she's very scaredy catty. She doesn't like to go out in town at night or whatever. She's like a group of kids or whatever. She gets very nervous. And this film, that's it. On the second viewing, and if you do start actually thinking about it, it's like, whoa, this is full of bigotry. This is proper Daily Mail, paranoia kind of crap. However, is that something interesting to tap into? Well, it kind of is in a way. They're playing with that. Not actually playing. It's very blatant. And it's scary as hell. It is a nightmare.
It is
scary,
that
Daily Mail nightmare.
Yeah, but I don't think it's interesting. It doesn't do it in an interesting way.
I think they do it very. It's very well put together.
But if you look at the resolution at the end, it's like there's no. It is from a Daily Mail perspective, so they don't see the need to offer a counterpoint.
Yeah, like you say, like the end though. Oh, it's all so awful. Even they break away from the kids, so she goes to like suburbia. And there's like no, it's the whole class.
Yeah,
everyone.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
So from the fundamentals of what he was trying to do, I agree with you completely that because it is based in reality and there's no supernatural boogeyman.
Yeah.
Boogeyman? Bogeyman.
Yeah.
Coming in
I think the Americans call it boogeyman.
There is a supernatural boogeyman. Who is that? Barry White?
But because there's no bogeyman, it is terrifying.
Yeah.
But because of the lack of sophistication it's not trying to. It's just scaremongering type thing.
Yeah, it's true.
It loses all credibility in my eyes.
Yeah, but that's the thing, I suppose. So we're gonna have to park that because you can get caught up in that. Actually, as a film itself, though, I think the way it builds is pretty cool. The interplay with her. So she's a teacher, and quite early on, like let's say they're on the beach, and they're doing their thing. And he's like, "Oh, just ignore them, just ignore them."
Yeah, and they're a group of kids drinking and
and you see a thought go across his mind, and it's almost like he's gone. Actually, whereas I would leave this, I want to show her. I want to kind of impress her. So I'm going to have a word with these kids. I'm going to try and go, no, I'm not having this. So he does do exactly that. And there's another couple of moments after it where they're driving along. They see the kids' bikes outside of this house. And he's like, I'm going to knock on the door. And she's like, no, don't do it. And he goes, no, I am going to do this. So he's trying to sort of impress her because he wants to propose. You know,
he goes into the house.
Exactly.
What is that with people?
He's a
that
real man.
Doesn't happen.
That is quite a funny scene, but good. It's good. It's good.
I think there's a lot of implausible things. I've written some down here. Their trip was a disaster. Why didn't they just drive home?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Why didn't they leave the beach?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even a beach. That's the other thing. British lakes are not like American lakes, and they tried to make out that a British lake that you could just go down there and sunbathe. It looked freezing, and it probably was freezing.
And it's supposed to be a disused quarry.
Yeah,
like a lake at the bottom of a quarry. It looked massive as well.
Yeah.
This is back to your bit. Why? See, this is what's good about it. You said you would just leave.
Yeah.
It's him. So he's going, no, I'm not. He wants to kind of impress her. We're not going to be pushed around. We're not going to be pushed around. We're going to tell them. We're going to show them. We're going to teach them that they need to learn kind of manners.
Would you walk around the stranger's home?
Just let yourself in.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of allow it because it plays on that tension on that scene, so I don't mind it too much. It's pretty good.
The last one: get in a bin or run into the woods.
So, one of the things that pisses me off about this film is her. Her character is she. It's her fault he ends up dead. Because when she runs away and escapes, it's not that big a bloody wood.
Yeah.
So just run in that direction. You'll get to it.
Yeah.
Before morning, you'll find a road.
Yeah.
Now there is.
You get some high shots actually.
No, but again, we're not in America.
No, but I'm talking about when she finds that bin bit where she finds the map saying you are here.
Yep.
It shows the entirety of that, and you're going, well, that's a mile max to get out of this wood.
Yeah.
And you can get disoriented. I fully appreciate that, but she doesn't even try to get out of the wood.
No.
She sits and whimpers, and then when she then goes back to the group, so they've been harassed at the waterfront, and then while they go off somewhere else, the kids steal his Jeep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to get his Jeep back. They find them late at night round a fire with a badger under a trolley. How do you trap a badger under a trolley?
That's just kid woodland stare.
That's just shits and giggles in this case. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So we'll ignore the badger under a trolley. He goes to get his keys, asking for his keys back. They've got a dog, and it all escalates. The dog comes at him, and accidentally he takes a knife off one of the kids or something, and the dog gets killed.
Yeah. And that's where Jack O'Connell's character flips.
That's when it escalates. So he tells him to fuck off, take the keys, fuck off, get out of here. You've killed my best, and you can tell, bad family life, dog is his everything.
Yeah.
And then he goes after them and captures them and all that kind of stuff. But it's just like, she is this portrayed as just this ridiculously shit character. It's like, go, run, stay and fight them. Like your point, fight or flight. Stay and do something.
Yeah.
Or go away and do something.
Yeah.
But stay and do nothing seems... You've just seen him bound up in barbed wire. This isn't going to end well. Go and do something.
Yeah.
And her character isn't written to be...
I think the effect with the barbed wire was very good.
Yeah.
And also the cut in his tongue was...
What a scene, just like cutting around in his mouth. I mean, there's some scenes that, like I say, that really pull your arsehole to...
Yeah.
Your hairdo.
Yeah, that's the second time you said that.
The quality of the acting, I think, is really good, and the sort of the shots of the gore, like you say, with the cutting or whatever. Or there's this cut in the side of Michael Fassbender as he's bleeding.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa! It does really get you. So that's, I suppose, those sort of experiences, those feelings. That's why when I first saw it, really put it in that category of, okay, this is a good film. But yeah, it's that whole sort of class thing that's the fundamental problem of it. But I think the way it builds and that whole sort of, I don't know, just
I'll tell you what did work.
Horribleness. It's just...
It was filmed mostly in the daytime.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you think of any other horror films that are made in the daytime?
Midsommar.
Which you hated.
Stupid film.
It's nice, good film. But yeah, just that tying into, the Jamie Bolger, that horrible satirical, and feral kids.
But that kind of, the escalation from being a bit leery on their bikes, being a bit leery by the quarry lake.
Yes.
Stealing a car.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
Chavs in inverted commas, which is what this is.
Yeah. Let's get out the car. Fear of children, though. Fear of children.
That's okay. Round a campfire with a dog, slightly aggressive dog. You're gonna be okay. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And
then to binding in barbed wire, cutting his tongue, stabbing his side, killing him, and then necklacing the little kid with the jam jar.
Yeah.
Putting a tie around his head, filling it with petrol and setting fire to it. That's a fucking steep escalation of violence.
Yeah.
And genuinely terrifying. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it just in a.
But I thought I was caught away with it because the adrenaline of him. I don't know. I can see it go. But it is. What's great and cool and terrifying about this film is that it is like your favourite, the fear of children, but this is in a different way. The fear of feral children.
Yeah.
And like what is it? A Lord of the Flies. That kind of.
Well, it's quite current today with all the knife crime and all that kind of stuff going on in the world.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of when I was trying to think of a memorable scene. I couldn't pull one out.
Other than the horrible one.
Yeah.
The one where she
runs over the girl.
She kills Turgoose.
Yeah. I can think of quite a few.
There are
for me.
There are lots of memorable films. The bit where when the attacking Fassbender when he's bound to the tree.
Yeah.
And kind of
and
videoing them so everybody's kind of complicit.
when she's laying on the sofa covered in shit and bin
realise
piss,
whose house
and then she looks up at the wall and it's like, oh, great. And when they push her back into the toilet.
Yeah.
Jack O'Connell's acting, who plays Brett,
he's the kid,
I think
isn't he?
he's like properly on par. Obviously, Fassbender's chopsy, but Jack O'Connell is really, really good in this film. He's really good.
I've got a memorable line is I think Fassbender says to them, "Watch your dog, and okay, you watch yours."
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Right, should we score it then? Have we said everything we want to say?
Yeah, I mean, the whole fear of the working class. Again, other films that kind of do the same thing, but definitely less Daily Mail. You had Deliverance. You remember that?
Yeah.
With John Voight and
Yeah,
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre does a similar kind of thing, and then obviously Wolf Creek. So it is the thing, and this is the very, very British version of that.
Yeah.
Right,
well, I think there's a nice link to Zombieland as well. You pick up the Zombieland?
No. Yeah, come on.
So, cardio. It's really important that you're fit, because if you go camping, somebody's going to try and murder you. You're going to have to run.
Yeah.
Cardio.
Oh, and belt up, because you're going to smash straight into a fucking tree.
Yeah. All right, let's score it. Performances, Wyndham.
Performances 7.
Laurie?
9.
Effects, Laurie?
8.
4.
6.
Plot? 4.
5.
8.
Rewatch factor, win.
0.
6.
5. Direction, Laurie?
8.
5.
5.
Cinematography, 4.
6.
7.
Sound and music, win.
5.
I can't remember too much of it. Let's go 6.
2. Originality, win.
5.
6.
4. Enjoyability, Laurie?
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a weird one, isn't it? When you're absolutely hating it, but it's so... So, 6.
3.
Because of Jack Connell, is it? Jack O'Connell's performance.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 1.
Okay. And life-changing past or present, 1.
0.
4.
Okay, so let's add up the scores.
Can I just say before we do that?
Yeah.
I was going to propose I put this on the rocks. I know we're not allowed to put our choices on the rock. I tried it with Critters and you wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
But I just
really didn't
because
like
of my last thing on this was what's the point? And I couldn't get past the Daily Mail bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
That's very interesting. Right.
But when that's what I'm saying though. When you do that, and like Wolf Creek's doing the same thing. Deliverance is doing something equally as rude and naughty and offensive, and you just. If you get caught up on that, it's kind of dead in the water. But as a film and how it feel, how you can feel, and if you go with that fear, as I say, the fear of children stuff, the feral stuff, it is good. It does work.
All right,
effective.
So let's do the scores. I've given it 42.
I gave it 64.
I've given it 40.
Right. 64. So what does that give us then?
48.6.
What? 48.6, which just puts it above Blood on Satan's Claw, but below The Puppet Master. So 2 quite low scoring films this week.
Blood on Satan's Claw is that low?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Bloody hell!
Yeah.
You guys need to pull your socks out.
Is that right?
So I think we need to choose some better films for next month. Let's
yeah. Come on.
Right, whose pick is it? Is it mine? Is it Laurie's?
I think it's.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't picked in a very long time, but I picked your.
Yeah, it's my pick.
So it's your
pick because you picked Golden Ticket.
Yeah.
Bad choice. Right, I'm going to pick them.
You'll be fine. You're great at this.
No, I said bad luck to you, not to me.
Right. Okay. No. Yeah.
Right. Let's have a look.
Rummage away. You should be
will.
au fait with your own ball bag. I love that you closed your eyes then.
I know.
Oh.
86.
86.
I didn't even know they went that high.
86. It's another year.
Oh.
It is 1988.
Lighthouse.
Alright, so I chose 1988. What have you got for me, guys?
What could it be? You go first, Willy Bum.
Yeah? Okay. I'm going to go for Beetlejuice.
Aha!
The Beetle guys. Okay, damn it, I've actually got 3 now. Oh, there's a lot of comedy in that. But you've just done a comedy, so I'll weigh it up. The Last Temptation of Christ, Martin Scorsese.
Right. And what?
So I seem to be on a bit of a comedy bend here. Return of the Living Dead 2.
Oh. Ooh. Okay, so for me it's either a choice of Dead Ringers or They Live. So, I did Last Temptation of Christ, that's quite meaty. They Live. So John Carpenter's film, there's loads of great comedy in it, but it's also a very underrated John Carpenter film, They Live.
Alright, okay. I am going to go for Return of the Living Dead 2 and They Live.
Oh!
Because I don't think I've seen Return of the Living Dead 2.
I think I have.
I really like Return of the Living Dead.
That's fine,
and They Live. So there we go, that's it, guys.
Cool.
I'll see you next month.
You will.
And you can prepare all your Halloween treats.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
you can fill us in next month about what our Halloween special is all going to be about.
Okay, all right, then I'll be quiet.
Great. All right. See you later.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.